Vegas has seen its fair share of scandals. Elvis impersonators marrying strangers, drunk tourists doing backflips into fountains, even Britney's infamous 55-hour marriage meltdown. But nothing, and I mean nothing, compares to the absolute circus unleashed when Chrisean Rock and Hood Trophy Bino turned Sin City into a demolition derby. Forget poker chips and champagne showers. These two walked into a Vegas hotel and left it looking like a WWE cage match fused with a frat party apocalypse. Reports say the destruction was so loud, so wild, that even Vegas, a city where chaos is literally the brand, had to call in backup. And when the police swarmed, oh, you know the internet lost its collective mind faster than Kim Kardashian running to trademark a new kid's name. Leaked photos, shaky phone footage, and screaming witnesses poured onto timelines, painting a picture more outrageous than the Hangover trilogy on steroids. Furniture smashed, walls dented, alarms blaring, the scene was less luxury suite and more post-apocalyptic war zone. This isn't just a scandal. This is a full-blown viral earthquake shaking hip-hop, Hollywood, and anyone dumb enough to book a room on the same floor. And tonight, we're diving into every messy, jaw-dropping detail. Vegas is supposed to be the city where what happens here stays here. But apparently, Chrisean Rock and Hood Trophy Bino didn't get the memo. Because their little hotel adventure didn't just stay in Vegas, it detonated across the entire internet. And trust me, this wasn't some minor hotel complaint about loud music or too many towels. No, this was straight up demolition. A luxury suite turned into a crime scene. A party gone nuclear. A scandal so juicy it made the hotel manager look like he aged 10 years overnight. So, how did we get here? Let's rewind the tape. Chrisean Rock, queen of chaos herself, is no stranger to headlines that read like rejected love and hip-hop scripts. From wild fights, viral meltdowns, and jaw-dropping antics, her name alone guarantees internet pandemonium. Enter Hood Trophy Bino, rapper, agitator, and walking controversy magnet. Put them together in Vegas, and you've basically summoned the Avengers of Destruction. Spoiler, there's no happy ending here. The night started like a typical Vegas story. Music blasting, drinks flowing, Instagram lives popping off. Witnesses said they saw Chrisean and Bino rolling into the hotel lobby looking like they owned the entire strip. But within hours, their suite transformed into a battlefield. And when I say battlefield, I don't mean spilled champagne and broken lamps. I mean shattered mirrors, ripped up carpet, and walls dented like Mike Tyson used them for sparring practice. Leaked photos told the story best. The bed flipped upside down like a toddler lost a wrestling match with gravity. The bathroom sink torn halfway out of the wall. The minibar emptied like it was Black Friday at Target. Someone even snapped a shot of a TV dangling off its mount like it tried to escape the madness. This wasn't vandalism. This was art. Destruction as performance. Banksy, but with less talent and more police involvement. The hotel's version of events? Excessive property damage and noise complaints. Translation, they went full Godzilla. Management allegedly tried to de-escalate. Imagine some poor staffer knocking politely at the door like, "Excuse me, could you keep it down?" Only to be met with glass shattering and screams echoing like a Saw movie reboot. Yeah, no de-escalation was happening. So the staff called in the big guns, Vegas police, and here's where it goes nuclear. Multiple witnesses claim the arrival of police looked less like hotel security and more like an episode of Cops on steroids. Sirens flashing, radios blaring, officers charging into the lobby like they were storming Area 51. Tourists pulled out phones instantly. TikTokers had their cameras ready before the cops even reached the elevator. One viral clip shows officers rushing past blackjack tables while drunk tourists cheered like it was halftime at the Super Bowl. Welcome to America, where chaos is content. Meanwhile, inside the suite, Chrisean and Bino were allegedly still in full chaos mode. Neighbors on the same floor reported hearing screaming, furniture crashing, and, according to one witness, what sounded like a vacuum cleaner being thrown against the wall. A vacuum. Somewhere, a janitor cried. By the time police forced entry, the room was wrecked beyond recognition. Eyewitnesses described it as something out of a disaster movie. Broken glass everywhere, smoke alarm ripped out of the ceiling, and clothes scattered like a tornado-rated Fashion Nova. One officer reportedly muttered, "This is the worst thing I've seen in a hotel since The Hangover." And that's saying something. Now, here's the kicker. Within minutes of police swarming the scene, clips hit the internet. That's how fast this era moves. No time for official statements or PR spin, just raw, shaky footage of Vegas police hauling themselves up to the 14th floor, while fans in the comments typed, "What did Chrisean do this time?" Spoiler, too much. The first video to blow up showed Chrisean screaming at officers, while Bino tried to hold her back. Or maybe hype her up. Honestly, it was hard to tell. Some fans joked it looked like a WWE tag team entrance. Others swore she yelled, "Y'all can't handle me, I'm Chrisean Rock." Whether she said it or not doesn't even matter. The internet already made it gospel, and let's not ignore the timing. This meltdown happened in Vegas, the city where everyone is already live streaming their worst decisions. So, of course, influencers and tourists milked the chaos for clout. Within an hour, TikTok had dozens of clips with dramatic captions like, "When you just came for a weekend getaway but end up in a Chrisean Rock side quest." Views? Millions. Comments? Ruthless. People compared the scene to everything from The Purge to Grand Theft Auto. Vegas edition. One viral post read, "Imagine paying $600 a night for a suite and waking up to Chrisean throwing a lamp through the wall. Refund me and my sanity." Another wrote, "Vegas hotels survive bachelor parties, but not Chrisean Rock. And while the internet clowned, the hotel staff allegedly lost their minds. Rumors claim the damage bill could run into the tens of thousands. One insider said the entire suite might need renovations. Another claimed the cleaning crew refused to even enter without hazard pay. Honestly, respect. But beyond the wreckage and memes, the bigger story was how fast this spiraled into a full-blown scandal. Twitter exploded with hashtags like Vegas Chaos, Chrisean, and Bino. Hotelgate. Each tag added fuel to the fire. Some fans defended them, arguing, "This is just Chrisean being Chrisean." Others dragged them to hell, saying, "At this point, she needs a lifetime ban from hotels, period." And then came the conspiracies. People speculating this was a PR stunt, a setup, even a reality show teaser. Because here's the thing. In the world of Chrisean Rock, nothing is ever just an accident. It's always bigger, louder, messier, and with Hood Trophy Bino in the mix, forget it. You've got two chaos agents colliding in Vegas, and the result is an internet explosion so massive it makes Coachella look like open mic night at a coffee shop. The first reactions weren't just shock, they were disbelief. Fans flooded comment sections with the same phrase, "Of course it was Vegas," as if the city itself summoned the chaos. As if Vegas wasn't already exhausted from decades of scandals and bachelor party disasters. The memes practically wrote themselves. But make no mistake, this wasn't just another messy night gone viral. This was the kind of scandal that forces police reports, lawsuits, hotel bans, and probably a new episode of whatever reality show Chrisean decides to drop next. Because when you mix Vegas with hip-hop's queen of mayhem and a rapper named Hood Trophy Bino, you don't get a vacation. You get a demolition derby with room service, and the best part? This was only the beginning. The internet wasn't just buzzing, it was foaming at the mouth. By sunrise, the Vegas hotel fiasco had gone from crazy night out to cultural event of the year. Everyone, from A-list rappers to basement-dwelling conspiracy theorists, had something to say. And like any true viral disaster, the commentary was louder, pettier, and way funnier than the event itself. First, the celebrity reactions. Let's be real, Hollywood can't resist a mess this delicious. Within hours, rappers and influencers were jumping in with their hot takes. One rapper tweeted, "This is why hotels ask for a deposit." Another posted, "Vegas wasn't ready for them. Nobody is." The subtweets were savage, the shade was heavy, and the memes, they were downright cruel. Even reality stars got in on the action. One Love and Hip Hop alum went on IG Live cackling, "Y'all thought I was drama? Chrisean just turned Vegas into the Hunger Games." The clip racked up millions of views in less than a day. Fans spammed the comments with crying emojis and popcorn gifs, and then came the cryptic comments from rival rappers, the kind of vague shade that fuels conspiracy threads. One post simply read, "What happens in Vegas? Don't always stay in Vegas." That's it. No names, no context. But the internet doesn't need context. Suddenly, fans were convinced the entire meltdown was part of some industry beef. But the real internet fireworks? The memes. Real internet fireworks? The memes. Oh, the memes were merciless. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, every platform turned into a comedy club. A picture of the trashed hotel room with the caption, "When you say you just want one drink but end up with Chrisean and Bino." Another showed the Vegas Strip with "Welcome to the End of Days" photoshopped on the sign. One meme of T.I. looking stressed was captioned, "Your son fighting for his life. Your hotel's fighting for theirs. Savage doesn't even cover it. TikTok edits flooded For You pages. Sad piano remixes of Chrisean yelling at police. EDM versions of Bino hyping in the background. Somebody even made a Roblox reenactment of the hotel destruction, because apparently kids needed to relive the chaos in block graphics. The creativity was terrifying, but not everyone was laughing. The public outrage was simmering like a boiling pot of tea. Parents on Facebook, yes, Facebook still exists, complained about setting bad examples for youth. Twitter threads accused Chrisean of glamorizing destruction. And Instagram activists called for hotels to start blacklisting celebrities who can't behave like adults, as if banning Chrisean Rock from hotels is even possible, she'd probably crash through the window anyway. Meanwhile, bloggers and gossip channels turned the incident into full-blown soap opera recaps. Headlines screamed, "Vegas becomes Chrisean's playground from hell," "Police swarm luxury hotel after rapper rampage," "Bino and Rock, the new Bonnie and Clyde." Every YouTuber with a mic suddenly became an expert witness. Channels, with names like Hip Hop T-Spill and The Shade Detective, were dropping 40-minute breakdowns with thumbnails of Chrisean photoshopped behind prison bars. Did they have facts? Of course not. Did they have views? Absolutely. And then came the conspiracy theories, because no internet scandal is complete without people losing touch with reality. The first theory? It was staged. Fans speculated this was all a PR stunt for a new single or reality show. No way they just trashed a hotel for fun, one TikTok claimed. This was marketing. Cue millions of comments arguing over whether the destruction was too authentic to be staged. The second theory? It was a setup. Some fans swore hotel staff leaked the story on purpose to smear Chrisean and Bino, because apparently the Bellagio has time to run anti-Chrisean propaganda campaigns. Sure, Jan, and the wildest theory? Illuminati initiation? Yup. A whole corner of the internet started claiming the hotel destruction was part of a ritual to secure fame and fortune. One viral post declared, "Vegas is the devil's playground." They had to sacrifice a hotel suite for clout, because clearly drywall damage equals secret society membership. As the theories spun, the hotel itself finally broke its silence. In the most passive-aggressive corporate statement of all time, management called the incident an unfortunate disturbance that caused excessive property damage. Translation: these two clowns wrecked our suite, and we're sending the bill straight to their labels. The hotel refused to name names. But let's be honest, everyone already knew. The photos were everywhere. Meanwhile, Vegas locals weighed in too. One casino worker went viral for saying, "I've seen drunk bachelor parties. I've seen Elvis impersonators fistfight. I've even seen a guy ride a motorcycle into a lobby. But this was next level." When Vegas veterans call you excessive, you know you've gone too far. But here's where things got even spicier. The police report leaked. According to the report, officers described the scene as beyond control, with significant structural damage. One section allegedly read, "The room was rendered uninhabitable." That's not vandalism. That's a full-blown renovation project. You don't need a cleaning crew after that. You need HGTV fans latched onto every detail of the leak, dissecting it like it was a sacred text. Who threw what? Who broke what? Who screamed what? People demanded body cam footage like it was a Netflix special. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix is already drafting the contract. And of course, the fallout extended beyond Vegas. Clubs and venues suddenly started whispering about whether they wanted to book Chrisean or Bino in the future. Promoters worried about insurance premiums. Event planners joked about adding no property destruction clauses to contracts. But let's be real, this scandal only made their names hotter. Controversy sells, and right now, Chrisean Rock and Hood Trophy Bino are the most marketable disasters in hip-hop. Through it all, the internet stayed locked in. Every clip, every screenshot, every eyewitness account got dissected like evidence at a crime scene. Fans weren't just watching. They were participating, dropping memes, conspiracy videos, and reaction TikToks faster than the story could develop, because that's the secret about modern scandals. The chaos is just the spark. The internet is the gasoline, and in this case, the fire was only getting bigger. The smoke may have cleared from that Vegas suite, but the fallout? Oh baby, it's only just beginning. Because once the police leave, the real storm starts. The lawsuits, the bans, the ruined reputations, and the internet never letting you live it down. Let's start with the hotel's aftermath. According to insiders, the damage bill is rumored to be in the tens of thousands. We're not talking about a little fresh paint and some Windex. We're talking full-on renovations. Carpet ripped out, drywall replaced. A TV that didn't just fall, it tried to escape the building. One staffer allegedly told a reporter, "We've seen parties get wild before, but this was a total gut job." Translation, that suite is basically a construction project now. And management, they're furious. Sources claim the hotel has slapped both Chrisean Rock and Hood Trophy Bino with a permanent ban. Yep, lifetime blacklist. Imagine being too wild for Vegas. That's like being too loud for a Metallica concert. But here's the kicker. Fans are already joking that the ban won't matter. Chrisean will just rent a room under an alias like Rocky Balboa and tear it up again. And honestly, they're probably right. Then come the lawsuits. Rumors are swirling that the hotel is pursuing legal action, not just for damages, but also for disturbance of guests. Translation, angry tourists want refunds, and the hotel wants somebody to cut the check. If this thing hits court, you can bet the internet will treat it like the next Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard trial. Live streams, memes, TikTok lawyers breaking down evidence like they actually passed the bar. But the biggest consequence? The reputation hit. Chrisean Rock already had a public image wilder than a Real Housewives reunion on Red Bull. But now, she's cemented her legacy as the woman who managed to out-chaos Vegas itself. Fans are divided. Some call her iconic, the ultimate rock star living without limits. Others call her reckless, immature, and a walking liability. Either way, her name is in everyone's mouth, which, in the world of clout, is priceless. And Bino? He's suddenly caught in the crossfire. His fan base sees him as a ride or die, the ultimate hype man who turned a hotel suite into a battlefield. But critics are dragging him for fueling the fire, calling him the gasoline to Chrisean's lighter. Memes of him yelling in the background are everywhere, and now his reputation is tied directly to hers. Some say this scandal will tank his career. Others say it'll skyrocket him into the spotlight, because let's be real, controversy sells better than talent. Controversy sells better than talent. Meanwhile, police involvement hasn't ended with just a hotel report. There are whispers of charges being considered. Disorderly conduct, property destruction, maybe even resisting arrest, depending on how that body cam footage looks. Imagine Netflix picking that up for a docu-series, Chrisean vs. Vegas, The Untold Story. Stranger things have been greenlit. The public perception is even messier. Fans outside the hotel filmed candlelight vigils like it was a crime scene. Supporters screamed, "Leave her alone!" while critics shouted, "Lock her up!" It looked less like a scandal and more like a political protest. Online, the hashtags kept piling up. Vegas meltdown, mas Rock vs. Vegas, crazier, sweet life of Bino and Chrisean, each one feeding the fire. And let's not forget the trolls, who edited hotel footage into fake trailers for The Hangover 4, starring Chrisean Rock. Millions of views, thousands of comments, zero chill. But here's the part nobody saw coming. The industry backlash. Behind the scenes, promoters are nervous. Some venues are allegedly rethinking whether to book her, while others smell money. One insider leaked a conversation where a promoter said, "She just gave us $1 million worth of publicity for free. Book her now before someone else does." So while some doors are slamming shut, others are swinging wide open. And in true internet fashion, the story didn't stay in Vegas. Memes spread worldwide. Fans in London, Tokyo, and even small towns in the Midwest suddenly knew about the Vegas hotel massacre. News outlets ran it side by side with real-world crises, proving once again that celebrity scandals dominate headlines no matter how ridiculous they get. The craziest part? Rumors of a reality show deal. Yep, word on the street is that streaming platforms are circling, hungry to turn this disaster into ratings gold. Imagine the pitch. Follow Chrisean and Bino as they rebuild their image after destroying Vegas. It's trash TV heaven, and America eats that up with a spoon. But let's not sugarcoat it. The consequences are real. A hotel is destroyed, police reports are filed, reputations are torched, and yet somehow Chrisean Rock walks away more famous than ever. Because in the twisted circus of fame, destruction equals clicks, and clicks equal currency. The aftermath leaves us with questions bigger than the hotel bill. Will they face charges or slide through like Teflon? Will this scandal ruin their bookings or make them the hottest names in hip-hop chaos? And most importantly, what's next? Because if Vegas was this insane, imagine what happens when they hit Miami or Atlanta. or literally any city dumb enough to hand them a room key. This isn't just a scandal. It's a career-defining spectacle, a moment etched into viral history. And whether you love them or hate them, you can't look away. Because Chrisean Rock and Hood Trophy Bino just reminded the world that chaos isn't a side effect of fame. It is the fame. And the scariest part, this was just one weekend, and there you have it. The Vegas hotel scandal that nobody asked for, but everybody's obsessed with. Chrisean Rock and Hood Trophy Bino didn't just trash a suite. They trashed the internet, the news cycle, and possibly their credit scores. The police swarmed, the walls collapsed, and Vegas learned the hard way that no deposit is big enough when chaos checks in. But this isn't just about a hotel. This is about a culture where destruction equals clout, and clout equals cash. Some people call it reckless, others call it legendary. Either way, you can't deny it. They just gave us the wildest reality show episode that never aired. Now it's your turn. Whose side are you on? Are Chrisean and Bino the ultimate icons of unapologetic living, or should Vegas hotels hang their pictures in the lobby with the words "Do not rent"? Drop your hottest take in the comments. I'm ready to see the internet split like a bad weave at a pool party. And while you're here, smash that like button like Chrisean smashed the minibar. Hit subscribe the way Bino allegedly hit the drywall. And ring that notification bell like it's the hotel fire alarm. Because let's be honest, scandals don't sleep, and neither do we. This is Scandal Spark, where gossip isn't just reported. It's roasted, seasoned, and served with extra hot sauce. Stick around, because tomorrow's headline will make today's chaos look like nap time at daycare. Until then, remember, in Vegas, you gamble with chips. But in the world of Chrisean Rock and Hood Trophy Bino, you gamble with drywall, and drywall always loses. Scandal Spark, where the truth is optional, but the drama is mandatory.